back to you though. You have another incredibly cool band you play with, which a lot of people don't know the term or what it means, but the Hollywood Vampires. And I mean, what's the current lineup of the Hollywood Vampires?
Well, the three principal guys, it's Johnny Depp on guitar, it's Joe Perry on guitar, and it's Alice singing. And then the band's rounded out. I'm on drums. There's Chris Wise on bass, who played in the Cult for a long time, did an Ozzy record or two. He's done a lot of gigs. We've got Buck Johnson on backup vocals, keys. He's Aerosmith's guy a long time, amazing musician. And we got Tommy Hendrickson on guitar. Wow. He's kind of the musical director of the whole thing.
Yeah. And he got you into that too?
Basically, yeah. I mean,
or Alice, obviously, as well.
Well, yeah, Tommy, Alice, both of them, absolutely. That's been crazy.
Tell me, sorry to cut you off. How did you get the gig for this? I need every detail.
Yeah, well, the association with Johnny Depp and Alice Cooper started in 2011. We were in London and we had a week off, which is rare. You wouldn't have a week off anywhere. But we did because Alice was filming his whole sequence in the movie Dark Shadows with Tim Burton, who directed it, and Johnny stars in the movie. And there's this whole thing where Alice and what looks like the original Alice Cooper band, they use the digital tricks to de-age Alice. They're performing the Ballad of Dwight Fry. It's this huge pivotal scene later in the movie. So there was a week off. But then during that week, towards the end of it, there was this last-minute little club gig booked at the 100 Club in London. It's kind of like the Viper Room of London. It's that small. Uh-huh. So we got word that day, Johnny Depp's going to play a couple with us tonight. And he's coming to Soundcheck to rehearse. And he did I'm 18 and School's Out. And it got into like People magazine. It was this big thing all over.
Biggest actor in the world.
Yeah, and the association started there. And from there, one of the next major things we did was play the premiere party of Dark Shadows in Hollywood, where it was a big surprise. Johnny's here, and hey, Joe Perry's here too, and oh my God, Steven Tyler. They just kept adding the special guests. We rehearsed at Johnny's house the night before. And then at a NAMM show, the big music industry trade show, we did this one nighttime party where it was called the Johnny Depp Band. And our special surprise guests were Marilyn Manson and Alice and Steven Tyler. And I think as Alice's manager, Shep, was watching us rehearse, he's thinking, this could be something more than just these random special events. I think that's how it really started. And there was the first record, Hollywood Vampires.
What year?
Came out 2015. It's covers mostly.
You recorded that at Johnny's house?
No, that one we did at a different studio at the Village. I'm on half of that record. There's some guest drummers like Dave Grohl on it and the original Alice drummer, Neil.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. The second record, I'm on the whole thing, and that's mostly originals with two covers. It's the opposite. But the name comes...
Yeah, let's talk about that. The Hollywood Vampires, if you've been to L.A. and went to the Rainbow Room like I did 15 years ago, just because I wanted to see the cool stuff, upstairs there's a little bit of a music venue. There's a stage. It probably holds, 100 people
Well,
max.
It was a dance floor that became a stage, weirdly, but it's a stage that you look down at, not up at.
It's like you're in an attic. It is an attic, but there's a plaque up there that says...
Yeah, it's the Hollywood Vampires original plaque. They were a drinking club. Alice was the quote-unquote president, and people who passed through this club would be like Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix, Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees, Harry Nilsson, Keith Moon.
John Lennon.
Yeah, of course, John Lennon.
He's listed on that plaque too, right?
He is,
Lennon?
yeah, I believe he is. It's still there, and the plaque was put up probably around 72, 73.
Oh, shit, it's been
I think it's been there. You'd have to ask Amy or Mike Maglieri about that, the owners.
Wow.
But that's the original meaning of Hollywood Vampires. But then cut to 2014 or so, it became the name of a band. And so there's an original song on the first record I recorded. It's called My Dead Drunk Friends. And it's kind of about a lot of these guys, but it sounds like a bunch of swashbuckling pirates that are drinking. And so that's where that started. That's where the name
there
came
was
from.
no... Isn't there like a documentary on the Hollywood Vampires or something?
Not on the band, the original group. I don't know if there's anything specifically on that, but it's been mentioned in a lot of other...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a little segment on the Vampires, but did they play music back then, those guys?
No, they were just
let's
hanging
get
out
fucked up
and
crowd.
drink. Yeah,
Wow.
that's it. And with the band, we've done some great tours, Europe and whatever, and we've had a couple of legs of tour blown out within the last year and a half, but So is everybody else.
Was
But-
Johnny making movies and then going on tour?
Yeah, he'd have to find the time in the schedule, just like anybody else would, to do a leg of tour.
Yeah.
And that just makes it it's different. I mean, his bodyguards and his assistant, they're used to being in one place, a location they're filming at. This is moving on every day, and they have to figure out ways to get him out of a building. We're in Warsaw, Poland, and there's like 100 people out front waiting for him to come out. They found out what hotel he's at somehow. They always do. And then someone thinks that he's going out the side entrance, and there's a stampede of people over to the side, and it's that kind of thing.
Fucking Jack Sparrow, bruh.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, people freak out.
But he
about
loves to play music. I don't know what he likes more, acting or playing guitar.
that. Probably music. He didn't even watch the movies he's in. He doesn't. Also, I just saw, speaking of Jeff Beck, we were listening to the Loud Hailer record. Him and Jeff Beck just did a song that's up all over the place. Just them two.
Yeah, they're like BFFs now. There was this one dinner one night at Johnny's place, and Jeff came over, and they kind of hit it off famously. And so Jeff is on a track on the second Vampires record that we did.
That's so.
That's a guy I never thought I'd play with. It's a bucket list kind of person. I didn't track it live with him, but he is one of the greatest living players that we have.
Well, my girl Carmen from Bones, she just told me last week before she left for Europe.
Bones
She
UK.
goes, "Yeah, I got dropped, and now Johnny Depp took my place, but it's okay because he's Johnny Depp."
Oh, from Jeff's circle or lineup
Yeah.
or whatever.
She's English. Actually,
Yeah.
she's Italian, but I'm doing Ori's voice.
Right.
But she goes, "Yeah, Johnny Depp took my place, and now he's the BFF." So
They were out on tour playing tunes. I guess Johnny would get up and do a few every night.
wow,
Crazy.
he's a good guitar player. I mean, he's playing a long time too, right?
Oh,
Johnny?
sure. Yeah. Johnny had a band when he was in Florida called The Kids, and they moved to L.A. around 83
And that's
to make it as a band, but
Yeah.
he got sidetracked by the acting. thing.
21st Jump Street, or what is it?
21
called?
Jump Street,
21
yeah.
Jump Street.
The TV show. He was in Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one of those.
A lot of people probably think 21 Jump Street is just Jonah Hill and
Right.
Channing Tatum. They don't
Well,
know.
Johnny's got a cameo. in
Oh
the
yeah,
first
because he
one.
plays. Yeah, he wears the
He gets
makeup
shot.
and
Yeah.
that shit is hilarious.
Yeah. So when you go over to Johnny's house to do a demo, he has a studio there. You never know who's going to be there. One night we go over, David Blaine's hanging out, and he's doing card tricks for us, and it's a lot of late nights. But
God,
we
that's
got things
fucking
done.
cool, man.
Yeah, it's this surreal stuff, but yeah, they're literally vampires. I'm talking about Johnny and Joe Perry.
Well, tell me that story also, because we made a record here, so we talked about a lot of shit. But on your audition for the Vampires,
Well, again, I wouldn't call it an audition.
your first hangout.
I had played on the first record, obviously, but they were figuring out, what are we doing for the next record and the next tour? What are we doing for the ultimate lineup? There's the principals, the three guys, and then there's everybody else backing them up. And they had this idea for original songs. This time it was original. And they had this whole thing. It was like a mix of stoner rock and gypsy rock, what are we going to do? And so they knew me obviously from playing the Alice show, which is the same thing. It's like a machine. It's the same thing every night, but it's a whole nother thing to do their brand of rock and roll. So
Yeah.
Tommy said, all right, I'm going to make sure that you are locked in for this. Tommy Hendrickson, he's the musical director, producer of the second record. He said, Wednesday night, you're going to come over to Johnny's. We're going to do this demo session. And this was back in, this was January of 2018. I said, I can't. I got a gig. It was NAMM week, the week of the NAMM show. I have a gig. He said, it doesn't matter. Come after the gig. I said, the gig is in Anaheim. You're in Hollywood. He said, it doesn't matter. Come after. I said, if I come after the gig, I won't get there till 1:30 in the morning. Tommy said, perfect. They're just getting going at that time. You got to be okay. All right. I'm not going to
Vampires.
complain. I'm just going to do it because I'll be amped up from the gig. Hopefully not burn out. It was a long gig. I was playing with Ori and Richie that night among
wow.
other people. It was one of those gigs where I was in the house band backing up several artists. Fun, but a long night. So I took off and I got there like 1:15, 1:30, and they had this one demo song. It turned out to be the song on the record called Get From Round. And it is a strange song with strange Joe Perry cool riffs. And they kind of had a skeleton of the song. And Johnny said, brother, play something impossible. Right? Yeah, like it's a director directing me. So I'm like,
Yes.
I'm just going to go in and play. I mean, the fact that I was burnt out probably helped because when you're tired, you just don't give a shit. and
Yeah.
you sometimes play your best stuff because you're not trying anything too hard. You just do it. And I did it, and they loved it. And this is what we're looking for, this kind of vibe. It was like that song particularly needed a little bit of almost drunken drums, like very imperfect, but with a click track. So yeah, that's how that started. There was nights that went late that were
Became
demo
mornings.
sessions. Yeah, right. Like 4 a.m, I'm like starting to put my jacket on, and Joe's like, Joe Perry, wait, you're not leaving yet, are you? I'm taking my jacket off. No, I guess not. I'm just like dead tired, but we did some cool demos that turned into cool songs.
Joe and Johnny, they like
Yeah.
to rage it up. Do something impossible.
Yeah, play something impossible.
Play something impossible. It's a
Yeah.
T-shirt. Or
They got good taste. I got to say, they got good taste in riffs and tones, and it was fun.
What's Johnny Depp plays a guitar? Gibson?
Oh man, well he doesn't really have an endorsement. I'm sure.
No,
he
but, like,
own-
what's he play?
His house is loaded with like hundreds of guitar, or it seems like that. He just has a lot of cool guitars,
Okay.
vintage stuff.
I thought he played like a gold top or something.